Hey friends, welcome back to my channel anyway, guys. According to secret sources, Anna Johnston, the eldest daughter of the beloved 7 Little Johnstons family, the weight she had been carrying for months finally became too much to bear. She had been sitting quietly in the living room, phone in hand, trying to respond to the endless.
Hello. The world of reality television has always been fascinated by families who open their lives to millions of viewers, but few families have created a journey quite like the Johnston family. Through 7 Little Johnstons, viewers have watched Trent and Amber Johnston raise their children, navigate everyday challenges, celebrate major milestones, and build a life together in front of the cameras. As the show has continued to attract attention, another question has become increasingly popular among fans. No simple answer. Reality TV salaries are rarely made completely public, and online net worth estimates can vary dramatically. Some websites publish figures without explaining how they calculated them, while others combine television income, sponsorships, social media activity, business ventures, and estimated family assets. For that reason, any ranking should be treated as an estimate rather than an official financial statement. Still, the financial side of 7 Little Johnstons is fascinating. The family became widely known after TLC introduced viewers to Trent and Amber Johnston and their 5 children: Jonah, Anna, Alex, Emma, and Elizabeth. Over the years, the audience has watched the children grow from young family members into adults with their own interests, relationships, jobs, and ambitions. And that transformation has also changed the family's relationship with television. When the show first began, the Johnston children were primarily known because they were part of Trent and Amber's household. As the seasons progressed, however, each family member developed a recognizable personality and individual storyline. Weddings, relationships, education, careers, family disagreements, celebrations, and personal goals all became part of the show's continuing narrative. That means the Johnston family's earning potential cannot simply be reduced to one TLC paycheck. The family's television income is only one piece of the puzzle. Social media partnerships can potentially provide additional revenue. Sponsored content, promotional appearances, digital platforms, and other opportunities can also contribute to a person's overall income. However, exact contracts and private financial information are generally not publicly available. This is why the phrase "want" needs to be handled carefully. Net worth is not the same thing as yearly salary. A person can earn a large amount of money in one year and still have a very different net worth because of taxes, spending, investments, property, debts, business expenses, and other financial obligations. Likewise, someone with a smaller annual income could potentially accumulate wealth over many years. So when fans see a dramatic number attached to a reality TV star online, it does not necessarily mean that person has that exact amount sitting in a bank account. With that warning in mind, let's look at the Johnston family from a different perspective. Trent Johnston has been one of the central figures of 7 Little Johnstons since the beginning. As the father of the family, Trent's role on the show goes far beyond simply appearing on camera. Viewers have watched him deal with parenting, marriage, work, and the changing dynamics of a family whose children have gradually become adults. His income is believed to have multiple possible components, including television-related earnings and his professional career. But because TLC contracts are private, there is no confirmed public figure that can definitively establish exactly how much Trent earns from the program. His financial story is particularly interesting because his career existed before the family's reality TV fame. That means his financial position should not automatically be attributed entirely to television. Over the years, however, the exposure from 7 Little Johnstons has undoubtedly made the Johnston name recognizable to a large international audience, and recognition itself can create opportunities. Amber Johnston is another major figure in the family's financial story. As the mother of the Johnston children and one of the show's primary personalities, Amber has remained closely involved with the family's storylines throughout the series. Fans have watched her navigate parenting, marriage, household responsibilities, and the emotional challenges that come with seeing children grow up. Like Trent, Amber's financial situation cannot be accurately measured by an unverified internet number. Television compensation may represent only one part of the picture. Her years of involvement with the show have also provided a public platform that can potentially create opportunities outside the television series. However, it is important not to confuse online speculation with confirmed financial information. The Johnston children. The biggest change in the family's financial landscape may actually come from the children. When Seven Little Johnstons premiered, Jonah, Anna, Alex, Emma, and Elizabeth were still young. Today, the audience has watched them mature and begin creating lives of their own. That transition changes everything. As adults, they are no longer simply supporting characters in their parents' story. Each has developed an individual identity, and their growing public profiles may create opportunities that were not available when the show first started. But that does not mean every family member has the same income. Some may focus more on personal careers. Others may have greater social media visibility. Some may appear more frequently in promotional opportunities connected to the family brand. And because these details can change quickly, a 2026 ranking should always be considered a snapshot rather than a permanent financial leaderboard. One of the biggest misconceptions about reality television is that viewers know exactly how much the cast earns. In reality, they usually don't. Unless a cast member publicly confirms a salary or reliable financial documents become available, exact figures remain private. That is especially important with Seven Little Johnstons. There may be thousands of online articles discussing estimated net worths, but the existence of a number on a website does not automatically make it accurate. Some estimates may be based on assumptions about television salaries. Others may look at the family's public career history or compare them with other reality TV personalities. The result can be a wide range of numbers. That uncertainty doesn't make the topic uninteresting. In fact, it makes the question even more intriguing. How did a family simply documenting everyday life become a recognizable television brand? How much of their financial success comes from TLC? How much comes from their individual careers? And which Johnston family member could potentially become the biggest earner in the future? Those questions set the stage for the rest of our ranking, because while Trent and Amber helped establish the Johnston family's television presence, the younger generation may ultimately have a very different financial journey. And one family member in particular has attracted significant attention as the children have grown older. The next part will begin examining the younger Johnston generation more closely and explore how television exposure, personal careers, and individual opportunities could influence their estimated financial positions in 2026. As we continue exploring the estimated financial picture surrounding the Johnston family in 2026, one thing becomes increasingly clear. The younger members of the family have grown far beyond the roles they had when Seven Little Johnstons first introduced them to television audiences. Jonah, Anna, Alex, Emma, and Elizabeth have each developed their own personalities, interests, relationships, and goals. That evolution has made the family's financial story much more complicated and much more interesting. However, before going any further, there is one important reminder. There is no official public document that provides a complete verified 2026 net worth ranking for every Johnston family member. Online figures should therefore be treated as estimates and entertainment industry speculation, not confirmed financial statements. With that in mind, let's continue. Jonah Johnston was one of the first Johnston children viewers watched grow up on television. His journey has included education, family responsibilities, relationships, and the challenges of transitioning from adolescence into adulthood, while cameras continued following the family. That transition can be financially significant. As a child appearing on reality television, Jonah's opportunities were largely connected to his family. As he became an adult, however, his own choices became increasingly important. His future earning potential may depend less on simply appearing on television, and more on what he chooses to do outside the series. the show has nevertheless given him something many young adults do not have: a recognizable public profile. That visibility can potentially lead to social media opportunities, promotional work, appearances, or other entertainment-related possibilities. But public recognition does not automatically equal enormous wealth. A person's income can change from year to year, and the amount they earn from television or online activity is not necessarily publicly known. For Jonah, the most interesting part of his financial story may therefore be what happens next. Anna Johnston has also become one of the most recognizable members of the Johnston family. Over the years, viewers have watched Anna develop from a child into a young adult with her own personality and perspective. Her presence on the show has helped make her a familiar face among the audience. That familiarity can be valuable. Reality TV personalities with established audiences sometimes have opportunities to work with brands, participate in social media campaigns, or build independent platforms. However, the exact financial value of those opportunities varies widely. A large social media following does not automatically reveal how much money someone earns. Sponsorship agreements can be private, and income can depend on engagement, audience demographics, campaign size, and other factors. For that reason, it would be misleading to declare an exact figure for Anna's 2026 net worth without reliable documentation. What can be said is that her years of television exposure have created a platform that could potentially become financially valuable. And as the younger Johnston generation becomes more independent, those personal platforms may become increasingly important. Alex Johnston represents another fascinating part of the family's financial story. Viewers first met Alex as one of the Johnston children, but the audience has had years to watch his personality develop. Like his siblings, Alex's financial future is not determined solely by the family's television program. Education, career decisions, personal projects, online activity, and future opportunities can all influence his financial position. One of the advantages of growing up on a successful television program is name recognition. People already know who you are. That can make it easier to attract attention when launching something new. But there's also a downside. Growing up in the public eye means that personal decisions can become